Yes, it is. Thank you very much for that, DJ Coolmeister. How are you going? I had it muted for the start of the stream, and yeah, I've obviously missed it. How you doing? Anyway, I was just saying, because you did miss it, I'm just plopped the Grand Central Station down opposite the new station, just as a way of kind of making it seem like the old station was upgraded to the new. Oh yeah, you're playing as well? Nice one. Do you have most of the DLCs, or are you playing on PC? What's your situation? So my plan here is that I'm just going to build out a little bit further. As you can see in the back there, this kind of smaller city is kind of the first main city. This area was the starting area, and this is going to be like the massive downtown with lots of tall buildings. So I'm just going to build out some of this grid here. You got most of the DLCs and a decent amount of mods. Nice. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I got a few mods. Quite a few custom assets as well. But yeah, there's quite a lot in there that are kind of, you know, camera mods or mods that help the game look a bit more realistic rather than all about you know, changing the gameplay. So I generally prefer to keep the gameplay pretty vanilla, but just have a few custom assets and a few things that are more like quality of life. But yeah, and how far into your city are you? This area is going to be relatively dense, I think. Probably go similar kind of pattern to up there. So probably, yeah, I think across here. Probably won't connect these necessarily. You have most of your mods as well. Real time as well, and realistic population. Yeah, I've never played with realistic population or real time. It does sound interesting. Is this power going across? Turn that off as well. Yeah, it's going across over there. So I might just, no, I'll just delete that actually. Yeah. So yeah, are you a long way in, or you just started, or? I have all of the DLCs as well, so yeah, I'm wondering as well whether those types of gameplay will be included in City Skylines 2, because they're both of those mods are super popular mods. It would be something that I would expect to see in 2, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But I'm going to connect this one, and we'll see what kind of little neighborhood we get in here. It is going to be pretty gridded, this space, I think. Maybe one day I will give those mods a go. And I feel like the roads would probably wrap around the old station, in inverted commas. Maybe even have some parking here, the new parking. Have you seen the trailers for the new the new content creator packs? I think they're in here, are they? The car parks? No, maybe not. Oh, they're parks, aren't they? Which is interesting. Interesting choice. They're in here? No. So with the realistic population, the number of households and workers and buildings are calculated differently to be more realistic. Yep. A one-story house won't have 6 households in them, instead it just has 1. Yeah, a lot of high density, more dense. It's depend on the shape and the class of the building. Yeah, I have watched, this is what I'm looking for, Biffa's, because he did that playthrough on, I think it was this English build, wasn't it, that he used realistic population in, and yeah, that seemed pretty good. And also City Planner Plays does, I think both his current ones that are modded are realistic population. It does seem quite difficult to like really build that population up, so it definitely seems like it's more of a challenge going with it, because you could argue, and I think some people do, that that, you know, this game is considered a little easy at some points, but so that those two things, yeah, certainly make it a little bit more of a challenge. I think this is too big to go here, so we might actually use the custom one from the workshop that I have here. But yeah, I think, yeah, perhaps the next build I do, I should try and do realistic population, see how I go with it. And you know, when you think about it as well, it probably does make sense, because it does take a lot of people to kind of really build a city and work in the city and all of that type of stuff, so it does make sense. I think a little while back, Biffa did a one with the real time as well. It's a couple of cities ago, I think. Real-time changes to general simulation. Yep. People have better simulated lives, and due to this there will be a lot of differences for services. There will be rush hour and yeah, a lot of unique events. Yeah. 2 secs for it. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I think Biffa did a real-time one. Yeah, a couple of cities ago. It did look interesting too. The rush hour. I think that is really unique, because it's kind of weird with cities the way it is, how it's kind of yeah, everyone's just doing everything all the time type of thing. So, you know, people are at the high school and they're at work and all of that during the night, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, yeah, the real-time mod actually is quite an interesting one, I think. And yeah, that's why I also think it seems like with the City Skylines 2, they're really going for a lot of realism in it. So to me, it kind of seems like, I reckon they'll include maybe not that exact mod, but something that kind of does perhaps have some of the parts of it a little bit more realistic in that idea. But yeah, who knows? They say they've been listening to the community, so yeah, I think this parking garage suits this area a lot better. Oh, did they? The CEO said it? That's interesting. I mean, you know, it's so hard from that trailer, because they said that it wasn't gameplay, and a lot of the time you get trailers that, you know, look so much better than the end game actually ends up being. So it's hard to know, but if they're talking about it and even the CEO's saying stuff like that, then that's probably a pretty positive thing. Alright, so we've got a nice path. No, I haven't. There's been leaks. Oh, that's interesting. Do tell. I'd love to hear. I haven't really seen any more recent stuff they've been saying about it. I kind of thought it went a bit silent after the big trailer, and I know that there was like a little bit of Twitter Q&A and stuff. But yeah, I haven't heard the leaks. Oh, the achievements. No, I did see those. Because I did see that the achievement list was on. Was it on the Xbox side or something, or the PlayStation or something? And there was some interesting achievements, like the 150 tiles or something like that. And then I saw a few speculation videos on what people were kind of thinking that meant, including the hexagon tiles and stuff like that. Has there been any other leaks other than the achievements? It's hard for them to keep these things under wraps, I would have thought. About a year and a half ago, someone did leak info on the game, and apparently they played a test build. Oh, okay, so it was probably like a content creator who had been given the access, and they were leaking stuff. I'd imagine they won't be invited to do that again after doing that. That's pretty rough. I reckon it would probably make sense that this space is a park. So I think we'll pop a park in here. Because I did, when the speculation was going, after it was announced, rather, Biffa was saying that he had played it, and there was a couple of other content creators that had played it as well. Definitely imagine that since Biffa and other people have played the game around that time, it'd be someone, and they're probably not going to be invited back, you wouldn't have thought. I'd imagine that's like a pretty bad cardinal sin, to be getting early access to a game to test things. You've been chosen as a content creator probably to do it, and it definitely would make it a very credible leak. Do you remember what they said, what the leak actually was, or too long ago now? Alright, this is just going to be a little park, but won't charge for it or anything. Do I want to line them up? Probably do. Yeah, it feels like it's still a fair way off though, doesn't it? It feels like it's still probably next year, realistically. Maybe early next year, but next year nonetheless. We know that they've been everyone had been speculating that they were working on it anyway. Alright, so we have Park Hill. I think this would probably be called Station Park, right? And I guess the problem is we don't know who was actually given the early access, so we'll never know who actually leaked it. But Because we won't know if they aren't given it again this time. We won't know if they were given it in the first place. I'm going to put, yeah, chessboard here. Plaza maybe on the other side. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go nuts here. I think I'll put a fence though. It's mainly for like safety's sake. Road guidelines. Move it later. No, road guidelines is probably better. Grid. Let's turn everything off. Yeah, so what's your city's population at the moment? Are you a long way in? I think the leak said a religion system, trade, etc. Yeah. The interesting with the trade, because I think in the achievements there was something about cargo lines, wasn't there? So I wonder if that would certainly be, you know, if they're putting more of a focus on trade and cargo and those systems, that would make a lot of sense as well. Religious religious systems is quite interesting. It's quite a delicate thing to do, isn't it? So it'd be interesting to see how they handle that, or whether, well, yeah, not religious, not religions per se. They're not going to like make up religions, but some sort of like system where they're including. Oh, regions. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Sorry, regions. I misread that. Oh, so like SimCity 4 is what you're thinking, where you could trade with the regions and that type of thing. Yeah. Well, that would be interesting too, especially because they're saying the maps are going to be like well, you'd assume more than 150 tiles, right? I guess we don't know how big the tiles are, but they sound like they're going to be very big maps. So if that's then going to have like a region on top of each map, that could be really interesting gameplay. And that's what you thought when you saw the cargo lines achievements. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to like have lines running into other regions. Yeah, for sure. I think I got because I didn't read it properly and I thought religion. I saw some speculation at some point that they might bring like religion, and mainly for like church, so you can have church buildings and they actually mean something rather than just being like a unique building like in here. But yeah, like I said, that would be pretty delicate, so they might not do something like that. Alright, another gazebo there, and then I think a couple of benches, and then a couple of bins. Oh, that reminds me, there's another park I built the other day. I wanted to pop a couple of trees in. So we'll do a couple of trees in this one as well. You're at 30k, nice. Is it based on anything, or is it just like a, like this one is? This is pretty random. Oh, hello. Having a problem. This is like not based on anywhere in particular, and there's buildings from, all around the place. What's happening here? Uh, why is it just the temperature's dropped? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll pop another one of these guys in. Random. Yeah. I generally don't do builds that are like based on anywhere real. Are you using vanilla map or workshop map? It's warming up again. I'll still put this in so that that doesn't happen again. I wonder if I could fit it next to the other one. Vanilla map. Nice. Some of the vanilla ones are quite good. It just doesn't fit. Just break the grid. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, some of the ones coming with the new packs and the content creator ones are really good. Alright, hopefully I was having a bit of a death wave before. Looks like that's pretty good now though. And yeah, have you seen the trailers for the new content creator packs? The Japanese one just dropped earlier today, I think. Is it Trains of Japan, I think they call it. But the yeah, the Brooklyn one looks good, and the although they haven't dropped a trailer for that yet. But the what's the other one again? I just watched the the Transport of Japan or Trains of Japan one, and it looks like it's coming with some buildings as well as it's not just trains. Oh, the hotels and retreats, of course. Yeah, the resort one, that's it. Yeah, that looks pretty good too. I'm actually, with this city, this area, this point headland is going to be like a touristy area. So I'm going to wait for that pack to drop before I go too far over in this direction. And yeah, hopefully include some of those buildings in it too. It does look quite good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer for the Brooklyn one, because that look, I like the New York aesthetic, is quite cool, so I think that will look quite good. Right, so we got mostly commercial demand. Probably put commercial along this main road. And then I just want to make sure I'm utilizing this trade building well. So that all needs to be offices in this kind of area. Office, so I might just zone them, even if they don't grow. At least I won't accidentally zone something else over the top. And then yeah, I think commercial through here. And then I see how noisy it is. Let's get some residential in here somewhere. Yeah, so this block at the back here could be residential. You have a decent amount of suburbs and there are only 8k of your population. The sprawl in this game has to be quite real, doesn't it? So I've got these, this like uni housing, And this is what do they call it? Is it called uni housing or is it called something else? Styles. Not used to using, yeah, university housing. And although it starts off really terrible, when it levels up, they're actually really nice buildings. So this is a huge district, obviously all lower, and it's, yeah, only 5,000, which is nuts. Like when you look at how much this particular district takes up, it's massive. So it's all of that, and there's only 5,000 people there. Which, you know, maybe that is realistic, but yeah, I'd imagine with realistic population, you'd be using every single amount of the 81 tiles for sure. Because they're only, yeah, so I mean, like when you look at most of these, they're going to be like 4 households or something, aren't they? Two, most of them are 2. I guess when they're leveled up, 3, 2, yeah. But even so, yeah, it's like these really should be just a single household with realistic population. That'd be like half or a third of that. So yeah, it sounds really challenging doing it that way with realistic population. I guess your really dense areas have to be super dense to really push the population up. Otherwise you got urban sprawl forever. To be fair, a lot of those modded houses do seem to have realistic. Yeah, I mean, though these the university ones are content creator pack, I think, and yeah, you could definitely like this 3. I would. You could have that as a split house, so you could have 2 households in that. Like that's not realistic at all, though, is it? 4 households in there. Unless they were like apartment households. I don't know why that one hasn't leveled up. That's strange. This area is pretty... but yeah, 3 households in that. That's really unrealistic. I thought this area was pretty... Yeah, really high values. Am I lacking education here or something? Not really. Super high land... okay, maybe elementary school is the issue. I don't think I can fit one in though. Library. Community school. How big is that? Oh, this is good. Yeah, for sure. I do have a Discord, and you can post photos in there. It's not very active because I'm only just started, but you can definitely post photos in that. There's actually a channel for for City Skyline screenshots. Squeeze this in somewhere, and yeah, I'll have a look. Might have to take out those 2 houses. That's a neat little school. There's no high school though. Just push the land value a little bit. Right, I get distracted very, very easily. So, I mean, I have purchased some tiles that I am not yet using. So like if you're just looking at how many tiles I'm actually using, because I wanted to put the bridge over here, I purchased out and around here. So I guess it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, like 15, 16 I suppose. But, you know, I'm gonna aim to fill the whole map up basically, or, you know, within reason. So there are some areas that, you know, just won't be buildable, like the mountains and stuff. I'm gonna move this airport too. I don't like where that is. But yeah, it's like go for density as well. Is yours taking up a lot or a small amount? I think we put some residential here backing onto the park. And I think I need to get some water pipes in here. Your downtown takes up half a tile, and it's like 22k of the population total. Yeah, to me it seems like you need to have super dense areas for realistic population. Otherwise, you can just never meet the population demand. But you know, like I was saying before, that's probably actually realistic. So it makes sense to me. When you look at a lot of like real big cities, a lot of them are pretty huge, and they do like sprawl a long way out from where the downtown is. So yeah, probably makes a lot of sense. I don't know what the death care is like here actually. Oh yeah, it's okay. Garbage. Get these guys emptied. Could imagine how long it took me to unlock. Yeah, high density. Yeah, that's like probably where a lot of your sprawlers come from, right? Just having to get to that those milestones. Especially if you're on a map that has a lot of land, because it is, at least I'm pretty sure it is weighted, like the milestones are weighted towards how much land you have to build on. So like if you have heaps of land to build on, generally the milestones are a lot higher than in a map where there's a lot of water, for example. Oh, it's expired. Oh, that's interesting. Because the Discord itself isn't really that old. Let me see if I can... server settings. What is it? Oh, here we go. Maybe try this one. Or is that the same one? No, that is different. That's weird. I'll have to fix that. It's possible I've copied the wrong link or something. Right, I just want to make sure that these services here are good. Might put something unique here. We don't have a lot of choices for hospitals. There is one right there anyway, I guess, so that should be alright. So fire, we're good. Police, we're good. I guess we're still pretty close to where I started. Schools, not so much. Alright, so I guess we use high capacity here. So it is going to be pretty dense. And might put that one back here. And then high school. It's also a problem over here at the moment. This over by the train station, I think. Nice. Pop a few more offices down here. Not there. Order. And I do have the Discord page muted, so and I think there's a 5-minute like wait. I'll welcome you in here though. Welcome in. DJ Cool. Crusader. Nice. Yeah, I think you just have to wait 5 minutes before you can post anything in there. Just a spam protection thing. But that's cool. And I just check how far this goes again to push the officers as close to that as possible. I think maybe another couple of segments of residential here. Commercial demand is always through the roof. So what are these? Are these commercial too? Yeah, might pop more here then. And DJ Coolmaster, have you been playing Cities for very long, or since it came out, or short time? Since release. Yeah, I was pretty close, I think. I think I started playing just after Dark was released. So not quite from the start, but pretty close. But yeah, I used to play Sim City 4 a lot, so and then I took a break from gaming, and then yeah, when I discovered City Skylines, that's reignited my my gaming brain again. What do you think your favorite DLC is? couple of pedestrian paths through here, I suppose. That's annoying. I think I'm gonna have to put that path there anyway. Unfortunate, but and then we'll pop a couple of crossings here. Yeah, do you think you have a favorite DLC, or maybe you prefer the vanilla stuff? That's not ideal. Mass Transit and Industries. Yeah, they're really solid, both of those. Industries just like is a game changer, right? That DLC. Yeah, I think it's always good to have more, mass transit options, but the way Industries changes everything is crazy. Oh, nice. I'll have a look. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, looks very, very sprawling. I can definitely see that. Yeah, it looks good though. Yeah, I love the night. The night views are the best, right? Oh, that's a cool one with the bridge. Yeah, nice. Looking really good. And yeah, like usually a city that taking up that much space would be more than 30,000, so you can really see how the realistic population changes that. Yeah, not a spaghetti intersection. I'll show you my spaghetti intersection. Not fully built up yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got a spaghetti intersection over here. So this, the way this map came was, this was an interchange, and I think it just had like, yeah, there was a roundabout here. So it's kind of similar. Actually, it's similar to this interchange. So it had this, and then another bit going off in another direction, and that it just didn't work because it just, yeah, the roundabout just got jammed constantly. And yeah, this traffic, it's I haven't got this city anywhere near 80 is usually what I aim for, and for whatever reason I can't get it past like 73. It does move, so it's not like permanently clogged, but this road in particular has always been a real nightmare. And I tried all sorts of things, and yeah, I still haven't been able to figure it out. But you can see that they do move through, so it doesn't break the city or anything like that. This area is a nightmare as well, which you know probably expect. But again, it's moving, so I'm okay with it. You don't want to know how bad it gets in real time. Yeah, I bet, especially with dense areas. I can imagine that would be quite bad. What I have noticed though is these trams glitching out. I don't know if you've got snowfall, but see this guy, he's en route and there's no stop there. The stop's back here, I think. So yeah, this blue guy, he's just glitched out. The only way to fix it is to delete them, but it messes the traffic. It's really annoying because the mass transit I have in this area is actually, I think it's quite good, but the tram's glitching out all the time just breaks it all. It's so frustrating. Yeah, you noticed them too. I'm glad it's not just me, but it would be nice if they'd fix it. But yeah, I bet the real time with the like dense areas like this in the peak time would be just nuts. Is it happening here again? No, he's alright, that guy. Okay. I get really paranoid about the trams because I'm worried that they're all glitching out. But yeah, I don't know what it is with this city. 73 is usually where it kind of floats around between 70 and 73. And there are hotspots, but there's nothing that's permanently blocked. So I'm okay with it. I've just had to adjust what I'm kind of looking for. Rather than always looking for 80, if it's like around 70, 73, then I'm happy with it. This area is a nightmare as well because it's, yeah, industry. Way too many trucks. But yeah, this area hasn't really been tested yet, so that's probably going to be a bit concerning as well. But because it's really only got one like highway intersection, so whether I'll have to put I'll probably end up putting another tunnel over here maybe, because you don't imagine many people are going to be coming from the other direction. If traffic gets really bad during rush hour, it goes down to 20%. That is nuts. And I think that's the other unrealistic thing I'm not super keen on with the way the traffic works in City Skylines now, because in real life when you have a traffic jam, like whatever it is gets cleared up and things get sorted out, and then everything goes back to normal within a certain amount of time. Whereas with the way the traffic works in City Skylines, there's just no way for that to even happen. With real time, it's probably slightly different, I would guess. Especially with, I guess you'd have to play with despawning on, do you? See, that tram before has just clogged this whole area up now, which is super frustrating. But it'll come good. You have despawning off. Wow. That must be crazy with real time. I have despawning off as well, or I should anyway. Yeah. Especially on when you start expanding and making map that, you know, going further and further out, you just have to have it off because things just start breaking when things start really sprawling. Advanced traffic AR, I'm pretty sure I do. I will check that though. I had realistic parking on as well, but I turned that off because it was, I couldn't get it to, 20% is what I've heard is the best bet for that. But yeah, I did have realistic parking on, but I was finding a lot of cars were like getting stuck looking, or it'd be like looking for another parking spot or something like that. And I had a few decent car parks around, like in areas where like high density. This area, for example, used to be like just full on car park, and so there was heaps of availability for spots, but for some reason, I find that particular part is really glitchy in Traffic Manager. Don't know if it's a conflict with another mod or something, but this is not looking good. That tram still at 72 though. That's all right. And now I'm going to be paranoid that like another tram is going to do the same thing. See, it does say en route, has it glitched as well. You can usually tell because the other trams like go into it. Haven't had problems with the parking. Maybe it is like another mod conflict then. I think that's glitched as well. It's so frustrating. Do you put heaps of car parks down? How do you manage the parking? Because what they do for me is they'll like just sit in the middle of the road, like, and then it's when you click on them it says they're looking for a parking spot, and they just never go anywhere. Yeah, this area is always a bit of a nightmare as well because there's trams all over the place here. But yeah, it's staying at 72. That's surprising given how chaotic things are here. Oh, that's weird. Tram lines change where they are in the different heights. I think that's one of the new roads. Yeah, that's clearing, so that's alright. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the problem is with the parking then. Because I do like that feature, and again, I hope that's something they have in City Skylines 2, having proper parking, and the pocket cars are really infuriating, especially when like the tourists just pull it out of their pockets and it just blocks a main road. You have lots of parking near stations, and a decent amount of your downtown is pedestrian friendly. Yeah. Look, that it's certainly possible that I'm just not providing enough parking, so they're having to drive further away to get it. But just the way they kind of sit there looking for a parking space forever, and I'm looking at the screen and there's like a parking spot right next to them basically. I found it a bit frustrating, so I gave up with it. But yeah, this is I guess the secondary kind of city, and that section's going to be much more dense, so I'm going to have to make sure I got really good public transport, using these above ground metro above the roads, which I thought was quite cool, like a New York, Chicago type of vibe. And these garbage facilities are struggling still. It's just collecting it now. Remember where I've got my big facilities. That's probably why, because they're so far away. They're both in the same area actually, which isn't great. Probably eventually have to put one over here somewhere, which isn't ideal, but so yeah, maybe with my next city I'll go all out, and we'll do I'll do realistic population, real time, and parking all in the same city. Alright, where are we? 87,000. That's alright. I'm trying to push it up to 100 if I can. I imagine that 100,000 seems a little out of the question for your city at the moment, given how much it's like so much density required for that type of population. What are we doing over here? Not enough buyers. What are the districts here like? Random. Okay. Oh, because that's where the thing is for that, isn't it? Okay. Just gonna... I might chop this up a little bit though. Go through here. Stop it there. That shouldn't affect residential at all, it's just the office. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Saw that I had a Sims 4 section. Yeah, what do I think of the new Paradox's new life sim game? Yeah, it looks very, very interesting. In a lot of ways different to Sims 4, but you probably know that the chap who I think would design Sims 2 and Sims 3 was on the development team or lead developer for Sims 2 and 3 is basically developing that Life by You. So yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm certainly keen to give it a go. I haven't yet pre-ordered it, but it could be fun to be involved in the early access, because it's I think that's you have to order it by September or something, or is that already gone? I can't remember now, but yeah, it does look very interesting. It does also seem like they're just trying to do everything that the Sims 4 isn't doing properly at the moment, which is quite funny, especially because they've had a lot of controversy recently. What about you? What are your thoughts on it? What I find particularly interesting is the way that it may end up, the mod side of it, because the way Paradox embraces the modding community in cities, you would assume that they're going to do the same thing with Life by You. So to me, that's going to be very, very interesting. Just keep bringing this road down a little bit further, I reckon. You haven't bothered playing Sims 4 mods since the gameplay is shallow compared... Oh, playing Sims 4 mod since the game compared to 2 and 3. Yeah, you haven't played it much because the gameplay is more shallow. Yeah, I didn't... because I mentioned before I had a bit of a break in when I was gaming. So when I started Sims 4... Sims City 4... When I stopped playing that, was kind of when they were starting to develop The Sims. So I never really played The Sims up until Sims 4. So to me, Sims 4 is kind of it, which in one way is quite good because I'm like, well, the gameplay isn't that bad because that's all I'm used to, right? But in another way, a lot of people really love The Sims 2 and 3, so I do feel like I've missed out a little bit with those two games, not having ever played them. To the point where I almost bought The Sims 3 a couple of years back. I almost bought it, but yeah, I decided not to. I missed out big time. Yeah, apparently I did. But I mean, here's hoping that Sims 5 will, with Life by You and what's the other one that's been developed, Paralives. With those two games in competition, hopefully it pushes The Sims 5 to be as good or if not better than Sims 2 and Sims 3. But time will tell, I guess. Even to this day, Sims 2 and 3 still has way more features than 4. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. And even like looking back at, like I said, when I was looking at buying Sims 3 and then decided not to, looking at the DLCs for Sims 3, they just seem to be a lot more unique. And, as a lot of people have commented, a lot more stuff was included in the base game as compared to what The Sims 4 started with. Even like really random stuff like I can't remember all of the packs because I'd never actually own any of them, but the one where you could see in the future or something, was that part of the generations in Sims 3 or something? DLCs in both games were great. Like 3 or 4 DLCs on Sims 4 would be one DLC, yeah, on those others, and even then they were more fleshed out. Yeah, it does seem like it's a gameplay issue with The Sims 4. Hey, like they don't go in depth enough. And when you're paying the amount of money that you're paying for these DLCs, there's an expectation that there's going to be a certain amount of in-depth gameplay that's going to be part of it. And then that's, I think, often why people get disappointed by it. From what I hear, a lot of like other people saying it's like Seasons really is the one that really hit the nail on the head in Sims 4, but a lot of the other ones after that are they're really not quite up to it. Sims 4 was meant to be a multiplayer game in the first place, so the foundation of it is just a mess. Yeah, designed to do one thing, but it's doing something else, type of thing. Because I remember, I don't know if I remember at the time, but I remember hearing about, was it SimCity 2013? And that was like multiplayer, and that was ended up being a mess. And again, maybe that was because they weren't really thinking things through properly. But do you know why the Sims 4 didn't end up being multiplayer? Did they explain why that happened? Because it seems to be a pretty bad miss that they've just been like, oh yeah, let's design this for multiplayer, and then it doesn't end up being what they wanted it to be. It's kind of odd, right? I think for connectivity wise here, there's definitely going to have to be another highway up here. Which there isn't actually a highway connection up this end of the map, interestingly. Where does that go? I can't see if... I don't think those roads can go off the map, can they? They haven't said anything, but it was an open secret that it was due to the SimCity mess. So they redesigned Sims 4 like a year before release. Wow. So yeah, they saw what a nightmare that SimCity ended up being with the multiplayer, and were like, oh, maybe it's not going to work the way we had hoped. And I guess at that point they couldn't really just throw the whole thing out and start again, because it would have been like years and years and years into development. So they kind of were a bit stuck. But yeah, interesting. Let's hope they've learned all of those lessons for Sims 5, because they scrambled to do things. Sims 4 at release was scary. Yeah, I was late into Sims 4, so I think it was around 2017 I started playing Sims 4. Maybe a little later, because it was 2014 release, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was 17 I started playing, so maybe it's quite good I missed that mess. They're certainly not in a really good shape right now either. And the problem, I guess, is if you keep building more and more on top of an already broken game, it's just gonna keep ending up being more and more broken, which does certainly appear to be what's happening at the moment with The Sims 4. I do remember hearing that that was kind of what it was like with The Sims 3 at the end. They were just adding more and more DLCs as well, and they were struggling to kind of fix things in a timely manner, and then they were just building bugs on top of bugs. Yeah, there was no toddlers, pools, it was buggy, and because it was more meant to be multiplayer, it was kind of like a millennial simulator instead of being life orientated, or more family orientated. Yeah, it sounds like it was a bit of a mess. But yeah, again, hopefully they have really learned from everything. And it's always that problem, I suppose, though, because the people who are kind of making decisions and that, usually in EA, they probably don't care about any of that, right? Like, they're just thinking about how much money is Sims 5 going to make us, and how quickly can we get it out. Whereas the developers themselves, like the Sims teams, are the ones that are probably more upset about that type of that way of thinking, but they're the ones that also cop the flack. There was nothing for children, teens, or elders to do, whereas most of the features are based around adults. Yeah, and that's, that's still a bit of a problem, right? Like, even though they've brought in a whole bunch of packs specifically for kids, Parenthood, I think, was quite... it had a lot of kids stuff in it, and then obviously high school years for the teens, and then they brought some stuff in for elders in this latest, in Growing Together, the latest one. But even then, there's not really much for, especially elders. Elders seem to have been, like, really left behind. So it will be interesting to see how they kind of manage those types of expectations going forward into Sims 5, and also how Life by You manages those things, because they're surely looking at what Sims 4 is doing, and I mean, they've pretty much said it right in a lot of the promo stuff. They've kind of they're taking digs at The Sims 4 in a lot of the promo stuff that they're doing, which is quite funny, but also like surely they have to be taking a lot of notice about what's actually going on with The Sims 4. I'll make that a traffic light because that seems pretty dangerous otherwise. And yeah, I mean, look, they're saying that they're still releasing stuff for Sims 4 for another couple of years, so they might still be able to add some more features, but people are getting pretty sick of having to buy DLCs. EA is in scary territory. The fact that new Sim players like you have noticed how empty parts of the games are. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm perhaps I'm not an average Sims 4 player, because I do seek out content like, and maybe even commentary on what the new packs are like, and all of that type of stuff. So I do a bit of like digging, which perhaps a lot of like more casual Sims 4 players might not do. But yeah, certainly, and you know, maybe what I knew about The Sims 3 was based on what a lot of other people's opinions were. But it wasn't hard for me to find that information, right? So yeah, like if someone was coming brand new to the game and they wanted to know about this, that, or the other pack, and they just went onto YouTube, the videos are there and the commentary is there. So yeah, you're right. It's not that difficult to find. So yeah, and again, I don't know how much they would care about that either, because people still buy the DLC, they still buy the games. So if people are going to go into The Sims 5 buying the game, EA themselves probably won't care. Again, it will be the developers and the Sims team that will like cop the brunt of it all, I suppose. Might need another waste transfer facility. Probably over here makes the most sense. There's direct highway access. That might help with the downtown proper as well. I feel like it just has to be off out here somewhere because of the farming here. Maybe over this way behind these plants. We'll upgrade some of these roads. Have I heard much of the features on Life by You? Yeah, I've been I don't think I've subscribed to their YouTube yet, but I have been watching again a couple of different commentary people on YouTube who are kind of looking at the tweets and looking at all of that type of stuff, and yeah, kind of sharing what's happening. And yeah, I mean, some of the features seem really unique. You know, things, and there's some things that I would use a lot, I think, but then other things that I probably won't care much about. But things like yeah, there's going to be heaps in the game, which is interesting in a lot of ways. So like things like the conversation thing, I'm not sure how much of that I would like want to customize in that, because, and it, yeah, to me it's just kind of like they're having a conversation. That's where I think The Sims is quite fun, because you can't really tell what they're saying. But there are other things like, you know, having only ever played The Sims 4, seeing an open world like that is just nuts. It looks so good. And then the way, like, they've said that the work and school are both going to be, you know, you follow your sim, there's no rabbit holes. So that's going to be really cool. And yeah, just, I mean, yeah, like you say, there's so many features, it's almost hard to remember them all. So yeah, it's exciting. And a a lot of it just does seem like they're looking at a lot of features that have been on like in all of the previous Sims games, like the best features out of all of them they're trying to like push into it. So it'll be really interesting to see how that like all gets put together and if they can keep the bugs out of it. Because I'd imagine it's hard to keep a game like that running. So especially when they're looking to have so many features in it, you do wonder like how they're going to manage to do that. Even then, with conversation system, they're going to update to add more lines. Yeah, and the Sims community will go crazy on it with dialogue mods. Yeah, 100%. And that's again, I think that accessibility to the mods, and I know that the Sims 4 has mods as well, and they're relatively easy to use. But if it works anything like this game, City Skylines, it's just so easy to put mods into this game, and you'd imagine it's going to work the same, right? Like, why would it be any different? So yeah, with it being so easy to put them into the game, you're right, the Sims community are gonna just go nuts, which is good. It'll be good for the game, right? Good for the Sims as well as Life by You. It's actually even more moddable than Skylines too. Yeah, they've said that, haven't they? They've said that yeah, they're trying to keep it so that it's like not quite open source, but it's almost like, or have they said it's open source? I don't think so, but that would probably be a nightmare for them. But yeah, they've said that they want to keep it really, really moddable, which again is great for everybody. So that's good. We do have a road here. Might bring that down. Make these blocks a bit shorter. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And so by September, I've heard some people say that it might be released late this year. I doubt it. I think if they're doing early access in September, they're going to struggle to get everything out and tested within like three to 4 months. So it's probably more likely going to be early next year, maybe mid next year. But yeah, it's exciting. Oh, it is on Steam now as well. Because yeah, I was thinking of doing it, the pre-ordering, and then I was like, oh, I'll wait until I see a little bit more. And then when I saw that you could only do it through, I forget it's the other platform, I was like, I don't want to have to get an account there. But it's good that you can do it through Steam now. Can you remember, was there a date that you had to pre-order it by, or did you just have to order it before the early access started? I can't remember what it said now. Alright, I think we need another unique building here somewhere, because this is looking really flat. Basically the pre-orders only through Epic, since Steam doesn't do pre-orders for early access games across the board. Right, so you still have to order it through Epic, but then you get the early access through Steam. Is that what you mean? What could we put in here? Oh, that's what I needed to do actually. I need to turn some things off here. What is player building? Okay, I only ever want one of those. One of those. Player building. When the early access releases in September, you can get it on Steam. Oh, okay. So you just can't pre-order it on Steam. No spread of fire. Well, I don't want that. I think maybe 20%. yeah. Well, I will wait until it's on Steam. I don't want to have an Epic Gaming account. Um, you almost had a heart attack originally when they said, yeah, Epic pre-orders only. I was the same. I was like, oh, that's really disappointing because yeah, I don't know, Steam, because aren't Epic the ones that do bloody Fortnite? I don't know, maybe you like Fortnite, maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I don't like Fortnite. And yeah, I just don't want more accounts than I need anyway, right? It's just so annoying. You have Epic, but only for the free games. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you use this Game Anarchy mod? Is it talking about player building as in like the unique buildings? Because I don't want multiple unique buildings. What does it say here now? I only subscribe to, yeah, I think that's what it is. I only changed over to Game Anarchy a week or so ago, so I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted. Yeah, it's pretty new, really, isn't it? Game Anarchy. Main campus building. I mean, I guess, is that by vanilla, you only get one of each? I suppose that makes sense. Unique faculty. Yeah. Space Raider. Yeah, okay, cool. I really, there was a reason I switched over to it. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, there's a lot of kind of exciting things happening, right, in like the simulation space, with Cities Skylines 2 being announced, all these other life simulators that are happening. Sims 5 seems like it's been developed. Interested in seeing the gossip system and quests in the game. Yeah, it's one thing with The Sims 4 in that there's no kind of story like mode to it. The trait system, yeah. And I think having an option to have story mode or some type of story, I think would be really cool. And I don't think I would play story mode all the time. I think having the freedom of like a sandbox is really good. And I mean, it's the same with City Skylines, right? It seems like there might be some form of story system in that too. From what if you read between the lines in the trailer. So yeah, having an option to have that type of thing is cool, but not forcing it on everyone. Right, so I want to fit a unique building in here somewhere. I suppose choose which one. Taller buildings are probably what we're going to have to go for. That's so big, so good. I do want this to be like, you know, like a mega super tall area. Was it the latest video that Life by You put out? They were talking about the, I guess what you would call create a sim type thing, and it had like a bit of a teaser as to the traits and all of that type of thing. The freedom of the open world and the fact that all of the AI actually have proper lives and life progression will add hundreds of hours alone for sure. Like I guess I was going to call them NPCs, but they're kind of not, right? Because you can just pick them up and play them at any time. I suppose technically they're still NPCs, but yeah, having all of that being so unique will really have a huge effect on gameplay. I did hear them say that they haven't quite figured out how to do people conversations with more than 2 people yet. So hopefully, I mean, I presume that they're working on that to make it so that you can have multiple people in a conversation, but that could kind of not be as ideal. But yeah, certainly having the NPCs having proper progression is like a game changer. Oh, you have to build that Sheridan asset. But yeah, what I was saying before, that the it seems like there's almost like unlimited traits to what they can do. Is that the impression you got from what you've seen? That's a big building. It's a cool building though. I think it needs to be just a bit further away from the from this guy, the trade building. Maybe I'll put a bit of a plaza around it. Push it a little further out this way. And they did say in the latest video as well that the Sims will have birthdays, and basically the time will run as time runs, really. So they'll have like a birthday every year rather than it just aging up into a different life stage. The trait system is definitely more unique compared to the Sims games, but it'll be more similar to The Sims 3, since The Sims 3 had more trait slots in general. Yeah. Yeah, to me, I don't know if you saw the latest like update video they did, but they just had like little bubbles, and there was like maybe half a dozen like trait type things that had been chosen for this particular sim. So yeah, that's quite a lot. And Sims 4 have kind of updated that with the new update, but unlimited would make it very unique. And more slots makes sense. People don't have just 3 qualities to them, right? Like that would be kind of a bit boring, I suppose. I think we need a bit more density in here as well. It's a not so tall building that we can fit in here. What's that one? Oh yeah, this might work. I might Rico, is that? Okay, I think we'll Rico this one as well. Aqua. 10th tallest building in Chicago. The Sims 3 traits also had a lot of personality and changes with them too. Yeah, that's interesting. I do like in the new update with the traits in The Sims 4, how they've made it so you can change your traits as it notices your gameplay. I think that's a really cool addition to the way that the traits work. And then on top of that, you can also choose whether you want to or not. So say you're accidentally playing a sim in a certain way, and then it brings up the choice rather than it just saying you're forced to do this now. Is that part? I thought it was part of the base game, but it might be. I do own the expansion, so I don't know if it's in the vanilla game or if it is part of the expansion. I thought they were saying that it was in the base game though. Oh, I like that from this angle. Do you own the expansion as well, or no? Alright, I'm not that great at figuring out how many people. You probably have a better idea actually because of the realistic population mod that you're using. I was told that this building over here would be around about 100 households, and this one is just slightly taller. But probably narrower. I'm gonna go with 100 again, I think. To untick that. It should be level 5, really. I would have thought so. Save and apply. That's one thing I'm quite bad at with The Sims, because I generally do buy all of the expansions. I tend to forget what's come with the base game and what's come with expansion packs. Alright, I might... oh, that's right. I wanted to put a couple of trees over here, because this kind of looks bare. Ooh. And then we'll do a little bit of decorating over there as well. This guy. Oh, not that. Yeah, probably by... oh, probably not in the shade of that building, but by this table. Here. Here. And one here. Yeah, I think that's good. Don't want to overdo it. Oh yeah, this needs trees here as well. I might get the brush for this, but I'm going to take the strength right down. How are we going? 89,000. It's getting there. And how's the traffic going, I wonder? It's probably a few people moving in. Seems alright, actually. 73, still pretty good for this city anyway. Any more tram glitches? No, it's looking alright. You don't know if it's a paid or base game feature. Yeah, I can't remember either. I thought it was in the base game, but I could be mistaken. Yeah, because like I said, I tend to just like listen to whatever's being said, and because usually I know I'm going to buy the expansion anyway, I kind of forget whether it's base game or not. Missed a few bits of blank spaces here. Pop some trees in. Don't want any within this space, because that's probably... I think I've got to come back here and finish some detailing here anyway in certain areas, so I'm not going to go too overboard with that. You don't play The Sims 4 yourself, only like 10 hours. Only been following the content creators ever since. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, you know, you can spend... I have spent thousands on that game. And if you've played, obviously over time, I didn't get it all at once, but if you have played The Sims 3 before, and you start playing The Sims 4, especially as it sounds like when it first came out as a base game, it's been pretty difficult. It would be rough to transition from playing something like The Sims 3 to The Sims 4. And then, you know, if that's the case, then why are you going to spend all that money on it? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think we might be losing money overall here. I think I started with like 1.7. So that's slightly concerning, but how much are these? Ugh, 3,000. 2,000. Okay, that's not going to help. I suppose I just need to keep zoning, get that tax money. But yeah, I enjoy playing The Sims 4. I do like it, and I guess maybe that does come from having not played The Sims 3. Like I said before, I don't know exactly what I'm missing out on, so that probably helps with my experience, but I do enjoy the game regardless. I guess the question is, DJ, will you buy The Sims 5? I suppose at this point it's hard to say because they haven't released any information about it, but that will be the big test. You like the fact that a lot of The Sims 4 DLC content will just be base game for life by you. That's definitely a big draw to that game, right? And again, I think that goes back to them looking at The Sims 4 and looking at what they've kind of messed up and learning from that, and recognizing what the ultimately really what the people who are going to be spending money want from the game. And if they're not including a lot of the stuff that isn't base game, or that wasn't base game in Sims 4 when it first came out, they're really only just shooting themselves in the foot, because everyone's going to say, well, why wouldn't I just keep playing The Sims 4 then? Sims 5 Project Renee scares you. I can see why that would be the case, because, you know, EA, they seem to be messing a lot of things up at the moment. And when something like The Sims 5, like the expectations for The Sims 5 are just so ridiculously high, it's difficult to see how they'll ever meet the expectation. Because it's kind of what's happened with all of the different DLCs recently, right? With The Sims 4, the hype and expectation has been so massive, and for the most part, they haven't really delivered, I don't think. Well, I mean, for me personally, I enjoyed High School Years. I thought it was alright. It was buggy. It probably still is buggy. But but I thought in terms of a pack, it was all right. Growing Together, I haven't, to be honest, played much Growing Together, because I started building this city actually just around the time it came out. But it seems pretty good from the face of it. But yeah, I think the expectations for Sims 5, Project Renee, whatever they want to call it, are very, very, very high. I hope they can meet them, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are disappointed too. And I fear that for City Skylines 2 as well, because it's the hype for that is crazy. This original game has been around for so long, and you would hope that they've learned so much from that, but you just never know. Customization of it looks great, but they've hinted about a lot of online capabilities that you can play the project on mobile, etc. That terrifies me. Yeah, having to, like, you must be online to play a game that never really flies well with people. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many of the features are really aligned to that. And, you know, as we were saying before about EA, they kind of messed that up the last time they did it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they've learned from that as well or not. Death wave again? Maybe. Ooh, that's a point. I need elder care over here, I reckon. Yeah, 100%. I suppose we'll go here. Yeah, they haven't. Yeah. And that's the terrifying thing, isn't it? I mean, you know, they haven't learned from other things. Is that harsh to put the old people underneath the track like that? The EA certainly haven't learned from other things that have gone wrong. Even more recently with The Sims 4, right? Like, the people who have been calling them out about a lot of the things that they mess up on that game, and they still seem to keep doing the same thing over and over again with that. So yeah, I think you're right. I think they probably haven't learned, which, as you quite rightly say, is probably relatively terrifying, especially when you're talking about online play and all that type of stuff, because that can go pretty wrong pretty easily. Need anarchy. I think get rid of the grid here as well. Or what is it? Oh, angle? What have I got on? Road length? No. Just turn them all off. Oh, I turned the grid on. Great. Yeah, look, I hope we're wrong. I hope they have learned. And I hope Sims 5 is awesome. It's just difficult to see how they can turn things around so quickly, given, like I said, they seem to be messing things up with The Sims 4 still, even after all of the kind of feedback and everything that the community has provided. Yeah. Because ultimately we do want all of the games to be strong, like, you know, including Life by You and The Sims 5, because the stronger every game is, the better gameplay we're all going to have. So it's interesting, in fact, that, you know, City Skylines, I guess it goes to what Paradox are as a company, maybe compared to EA, in that City Skylines hasn't been completely broken all the time. Paradox will snatch another game genre away from them. Yeah. Shots fired, huh? But on that point, I think the fact that Paradox has kept cities, and I know people complain about the mods breaking and stuff, but that's not Paradox's fault. I think the fact that they've kept this game going so well for so long on such an old engine now is really testament to who Paradox are. They haven't just abandoned fixing things. They're actually, they're releasing DLCs, and that annoys people too, but they make sure the game's still running, which I don't know that the same can be said for The Sims 4 entirely, anyway. Yeah, that's so true as well. Like, when you think of it that way, the team that actually made this core game were so small, and they had hardly any resources, and they created this incredible game that is still super strong almost 10 years later. So yeah, those developers really should be applauded for that, in my opinion. And that's why I don't mind continuing to buy DLC for this game. And it not only are the features that most of the DLCs for this game bring in, it's just genuinely good to support them because of everything that they've done over the years. There's 40 people on the new one, and apparently it's been in development for 4 years. And again, you would hope that will give us an understanding when we compare that to City Skylines. That will give us an understanding of how good this game should really be. 40 people for 5 years compared to the 8 people in 2 years. You would expect that Life by You is going to be something pretty special. I would like to match the floor there. I don't know if I am not looking in the right spot. Oh, the new Skylines game. Right. Well, same thing applies though, huh? Looking at the trailer, and I know it's not gameplay per se, but you got to expect that they took some of gameplay from it. It does look pretty amazing. So again, let's hope the hype is they're up to the hype. Life by You is a tiny team too. Well, they've, as I said, they've proven that they can do it in the past. So I'd still have pretty high expectations for Life by You, given what they've done in the past. Should I not have uninstalled Find It? Was that a mistake? Can I not find props? Yeah, I think it was, right? I guess you do still need Find It. Because, with the latest patch, they've got this little magnifying glass. So I was like, I don't need to find it anymore, but I think I probably do. Because, I don't think I can find that decal. Alright, that's fine. We can come back to that. I'll pop a couple of trees in there, though, before I forget. Actually, yeah, we'll go... No, I'll come back to it because I probably want to put paths and stuff in there and make it a bit more like manicured, so... think this is looking alright. I still do want to get a few more of these quite larger buildings in. I definitely need a few more like medium, like this size in here to make sure things don't look too strange. Oh, this one could be interesting. I feel like this would be closer to the water, right? Get those views. Maybe even over this way. I also have this, where is it? This building. This is from Sydney. I'm from Sydney. So I might, actually this looks quite wall to wall, doesn't it? Maybe we should get this in here somewhere then. Because these should all be wall to wall. Yeah, like there. It's not quite wall to wall. I might have to move it in. How does it look there? Yeah, I think that matches those financial buildings quite well. Obviously it needs zoning all the way around it. Yeah, I might just smush it in here a little bit. Or do I need to? Yeah. I think that'll look a bit better. Smush. Yeah, nice. This for a long time was the tallest building in Sydney. Yeah, I have to fill out that behind it a little bit better as we go. But yeah, I like that. Still at 89. I guess I haven't added much more residential for a little bit. How far out are we here? Yeah, I think we'll do like one more block there of these guys. And then we can phase out of the financial buildings. Check that zone, yep. Yeah, all good with the zone. And I guess one of these roads needs to come down, and I do need to continue this track down here as well. I haven't fully decided kind of what to do with it. I mean, these really lend themselves to like being touristy areas, really, don't they? It seems a shame to ruin them with like cargo stuff. But yeah, I was saying before, for anyone who wasn't here, this area is going to be full tourist, and I'll be waiting until the resorts and hotel pack comes out before I start going too far into that area, because it'd be good to get some of those nice looking resorts and stuff in that area. Ignore the airport. I really dislike the airport, and I haven't finished it because I'm gonna move it over here. I think it just seems to make more sense over there. I don't know that you'd really use such a close, prominent area on the water for an airport. So yeah, I think I'll be moving that over here. Be slightly smaller, I suppose, but that's okay. And I'll try and get a cargo airport into there as well. Nice. Alright, so a bit more residential down here, I think would be good. Actually, before I do that, let's check if there's any more of these that we could make into Rico buildings. That's a bit short. I do have, actually I did put these down already in the city, and unfortunately they don't look good when it's zoomed out. And it's a real shame, because when you're closer up they're really nice models, but yeah, I can kind of deal with, but this, yeah, I can't deal with that. It kind of just ruins the look of it all, doesn't it? So I should probably remove them from, I should unsubscribe from them, because they just get in the way. So Rico I was looking for. Focus apartments. I wonder if this is the same. I think it was the same asset creator. That's not too bad, actually. Yeah, I can... It's not ideal, but we can live with that. So why don't we recode this in? It's a shorter one, so it kind of helps a little bit with the moving things over. I think, yeah, that makes sense. I think there's an awning there that should be, yeah, on the... Oh no, that's not an awning. Okay. I still think that's probably the best way to do it, or unless we put a park, or like at the very least a path over here. So yeah, maybe we do rotate that. So where does that make it end up? DJ, thank you for the follow. Hope we have proper skyscrapers in cities too. 100%. Did I just place that the same way that I had it? I think I did. There. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I don't know if you've got the skyscrapers creator content pack. It's quite good. There's quite a good amount of different buildings in it. The round one, this one here, is from Sydney. Yeah, this building's in city of Sydney. But yeah, I think as growables, yeah, for sure. Because like Rico is good, and I mean, you know, potentially Rico should be something that they are considering having in the game, so you can choose what your buildings are. But yeah, having them as growable would be really cool. I'm gonna Rico this one. Speaking of Rico, we'll do. I mean, it's quite a bit smaller, isn't it? I wonder, is 50 reasonable for that? Like half the size of those bigger ones? Yeah, definitely having growable skyscrapers would be awesome. Even if they are like difficult, and that's going to be the really interesting thing, like how they do the zoning in City Skylines 2, because it does feel very restrictive in this game, having, you know, maximum 4x4 seems pretty restrictive. So whether it's going to be something a little bit more like SimCity 4, or something completely different, will be super interesting to see. But yeah, I'd like to like plaza this section out a little bit. I think we'll have financial buildings on this side. But then I might need to come in here with another road for this section, I think. So let's go straight out of here. Actually, I wonder if I just dissect it a bit better. It doesn't have to line up with that building. And I'm gonna just do pedestrian paths through there. We'll just move it out. What other things would you like definitely want to see in City Skylines 2? Things that are like for you, if it's not there, it just doesn't make sense. Put a couple of pedestrian spots here as well, I reckon. Oh, disappointing. And then I think we'll probably zone this part, but then the rest will be kind of like part of this building. One thing I noticed from the trailer was there was no nighttime, so you would imagine that the day-night cycle will be an expansion. There was rain, and they were talking about some, and there was snow as well, wasn't there? So probably weather. I hadn't know, since we kind of already discussed things we want in the game. True. But yeah, to me it seems like the day-night cycle will definitely be an expansion. And I wonder, you'd imagine that disasters will be as well, because you can still have weather and not have disasters. Which would be an interesting, like it'd be interesting to see what the difference in the base game launch to the original was compared to what they do with number 2. It seems like the Industries DLC we have with this game might be into already to some extent. Both Disasters and Seasons were in that achievement league. Oh, were they? Seasons, that's all but confirmed, right? Because of that scene where it changes through all seasons. But again, you can have weather without having full disasters. Which disasters were in the leak? Alright, this feels to me like it's quite a posh building. Wonder if I can, yeah, try and get those guys. It's been a while since I saw the trailer, so I've kind of forgotten everything the Natural Disasters has. Okay, I do vaguely remember that actually, now you mention that. This isn't Rico, is it? I wonder. This is an office tower usually. I have any demand for office, so I don't really want to Rico it. But yeah, given what we were talking about before with like the trade and the all of that type of thing, I feel like they're going to have a much more robust industries in the base game. Probably not quite what is in the industries DLC, but certainly something a bit more robust than the base game of the original. Okay. It's kind of like border this rather than use a fence. But yeah, I think for them to get skyscrapers, the zoning has to be dramatically different to what it is in this game. Alright, that's a start. And then I might, we might get some commercial in here because we don't have too much of that around. And I was thinking of like trying to reserve all of this for that, but it doesn't look great to have these like all out all the way around. So that's interesting. Is that not zoning because of its shape? That doesn't look great either, does it? Are there any, what is that, 3x4? Maybe there's no 3x4 corners, so that's the problem. Might have to... see how that goes. Yeah, I wonder what mass transit's going to come in the base game. Because that's always been, maybe not controversial, but mass transit's so important. So this is going to be an interesting intersection for Metro. I think I'm going to have to go all the way at the end here. Let's angle on. Oh, it was only snapping. Did I just turn angle off? I did. Okay, this is going to have to be a four-way Metro interchange, which might not work. Oh, that was silly, wasn't it? What's the best way? Maybe this isn't going to work at all. Node controller. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh dear. It just broke everything. Oh. What's going on there? Uh-oh. Did I break the game? I'm just gonna do a separate save here, just in case. Everything seems to be kind of frozen, doesn't it? Even though it's meant to be playing. Still saving up there. When was the last autosave? So I haven't been saving at all. 10:43, 7 minutes ago. Okay. Yeah, that's not looking good. That's yeah, no worries, DJ. You probably won't miss anything because it looks like the game really didn't like me doing a 4-way metro above the road. Yeah, it's not letting me do anything. Alright, I have to restart the game. So bear with me here. See what it'll let me do in terms of saving. It didn't seem like it saved. Yeah, no, that one's not in the save list. How frustrating. Bear with me. Yeah, that's not saving, so I'm probably gonna have to hard close here, and we'll have to go back to the last autosave. Rough. So apparently I have to be careful with that. Alright. Hope everyone's having a nice evening. Hopefully we've only lost around about 7 minutes worth of progress there. It was probably building the little park around there. We are back though, hopefully. Yep. So yeah, looks like it was just that. So we'll go to that autosave. That was weird though. I don't know what caused that. Was it the node controller? seemed like it was. I don't know where that would break the game though. It's going on to the Steam workshop entry for that. See if there are any bug reports. Freezing when adjusting node ends. That's not what it was. Zoning issues. I'm also getting freezes when adjusting nodes. Well, I just have to make sure I'm saving a little bit more frequently than autosave, I suppose. This is the hard bit. Unfortunately, also, I'm probably gonna have to end pretty soon. It's almost 11 here where I am, and I was working all day, so getting tired. But we'll try and see what's going on here first. Oh. Okay. So yeah, as I thought, we kind of lost most of what we did there, and I think we did a bit of zoning here as well, didn't we? But that's okay. That's not a huge loss. So I'm going to save this immediately. And I'll do it as this anyway, just to back it up, I suppose. Okay, so let me save that. So that's good. It was seemed to be a problem with no controller. I just don't know how that would happen. I suppose mods are wondrous things. I might try and do that again and see if it was that, just for sake of trying to figure it out. Because I don't think just building the track would cause something like that, even though it's a janky looking track before you use Move It or anything on it. Ooh. Oh, sorry guys. I don't even know how I did that. So yeah, just fix that up. Oh, did that actually join? Yeah, it looks like it did. It's like visually not joining. So I need no controller here, so I suppose this will be a good test. I can't even select it. Oh, that's it there, huh? That that's okay. I run the simulation. Yep. Alright. Well, hopefully... Wow. What is going on? Am I not going to be able to, like, do what I'm trying to do here? Because really this needs to be an, like, full-on intersection. I don't even know if that's going to work, like, gameplay-wise. Whether the metros are going to deal with that very well. It's certainly, like, realistic enough, as in real life, you do get metro intersections like this. Oh. It's not ideal. Yeah, like, when I was looking at how to kind of do above road metro, I was looking at screenshot. Oh, maybe that's the problem. See how that's, like, not... It's, like, going to different places? That's an interesting thing that it's doing there. But yeah, certainly Chicago has some very interesting train intersections above their roads, which was quite cool to see. Still not liking that, is it? I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. What if I do that? No. Like, I don't see how I could do this any differently other than kind of not having it completely intersect. Like, if I created another node here, I guess we can try that. It's not... No, it shouldn't be that. Because it was... I think it was connecting, because it was counting all 3 sections in the node on node controller. I mean, we'll try that. It's doing that. I think it doesn't like... And I don't know if it's because it's the above ground thing that's causing it, but really you should be able to do that. That's not that difficult of a thing. It really doesn't like it, does it? Bring that right in. Oh man. It seems like it hasn't snapped properly, but I think it has, because it's letting me alter it in node controller in that way. What would happen if I tried this just on the ground over here, with on the ground rail? Be hard to get the thing right. Let's do that. Come straight out. Oh, it doesn't like it either. Interesting. Okay. So I wonder if a combination of move it and node controller might work. Oh yeah, okay. Not as promising. Nah, it really doesn't like that. So it must be something to do with the elevated sections. That's super disappointing. I don't know if there's something I can do to fix that. I also wonder if it's even functional. Probably is. It's just going to look janky when they go across it, right? Yeah, that's rough. And yeah, this one, it does completely fix itself. I wonder if I could build it over there. I guess I should try elevate it above. Oh, what if I highlight this and elevate it with move it? See what difference that might make. So you turn these into... Why? Were they already elevated? No. Weird. Alright. I don't want segments. Yeah, that's definitely not elevated. So what if I build in elevated? See if that'll work. Frustrating. I was looking forward to having the elevated above the road in this city. So if I can't do that, that will be quite disappointing. Yeah, it's not going to like that either, is it? I guess the other thing is if it's functions, am I willing to overlook the jankiness? Actually, I reckon that this other angle is tighter though. Oh, maybe not. So I'm gonna try and just move that across as it is. I will pause. I don't know if it's like something the way that it's gone over the road that kind of messes it up. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Well, let me draw it back in and we'll see if that's actually what it was. Collision is off. It's always a sneaky little segment in there somewhere, isn't there? Sneaky little extra bit. Am I going to be able to get the... Is that done it again? Why is it doing that? Or is that the node from the road? Oh, that's the node. That must be the road, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Alright. Sneaky, sneaky segments. Alright. So... I will go straight there. And then we'll do the curve in a second. Because I think doing it any other way would probably not work with... what we've got going on here. I feel like that is another node. It's kind of nodes everywhere here. Probably have to move it. Is that gonna... Did that delete that other node? It looked like it did. Yeah. We're good. Alright, and then we'll just curve it in slightly. Oh. Yeah, it was that sneaky little segment that was causing that problem. Nice. Okay, thank goodness. At least we know what the issue was now. And it may have been that segment that kind of broke the game earlier as well, right? If there was some weirdness with the way that was working. Anyway, that does look cool though. I really like that. Yep, he's using it, so we're good. It's gonna be tight around some of these buildings though, huh? Yeah. Alright, well, I might just finish this little intersection while we're here. And we can just see how that's going to turn out. And I obviously need to adjust these roads and pillars as well. So I'd imagine there's pillars all over the roads at the moment. So I'm just trying to, yeah, match up these two sections here, because that really I suppose if I haven't come out as far here, but yeah, I'm not looking for perfection here. That looks pretty close, so I'm happy with that. Now these guys, I would like to not have to get rid of these. Welcome back, DJ. Just as you left, we had a game crash. There was a sneaky little segment here that was preventing us from making it look good, and I think that could have also contributed to the crash. So, but we're back in business. All we lost was the detailing we did around this building. City Skylines devs posted some Q&As. Oh, really? On Cities 2, presumably. Alright, I'm going to put these in and then we'll figure them out. Anything interesting? You got any hot gossip for us? One question. Well, I mean, I guess that's better than none. Seasons are fully confirmed. I feel like that's a bit of a cheap one for them. Oh no. Because I feel like the trailer kind of already confirmed that. So, I mean, it's good, I guess, that it's fully official, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that counts. There doesn't seem to be another node in here. Is it going to do the same here? No. Oh, it did up there. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've seen this setup in City Skylines before. I'm sure I've seen people do it. Maybe it's just too tight. It doesn't look like there's any sneaky nodes in there. So these buildings might have to go. So DJ, was that on was that like a Twitter Q&A, or was it an actual thing? Metro overhaul mod? No, I used to when they brought the above ground tracks into vanilla, I did not use the Metro overhaul mod anymore. I really enjoyed the Metro overhaul mod, especially the rendered tunnels and stuff. So realistic, I like it. Thank you, and welcome in. As I was saying before, I don't necessarily go for like ultra realistic. but I do like things to be somewhat possible, I guess, in real life. This is really annoying me though. uh, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, like if something isn't 100% realistic, um, I might still decide to do it. And I'm sure there's probably examples of that in this city already. Um, but yeah, I like things to be somewhat doable. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just too tight. So I think unfortunately, like, I mean, this is probably a good example, right? I could leave that there and that wouldn't make any difference. But to me, yeah, I don't think I can allow that. So, realistic to some degree. I wonder though if there's another building that will kind of, that I could kind of squeeze in there. That might work. And how's your night been, Nodastraz? Have you had a good one? Thanks again for popping in. Oh. So yeah, DJ, was that on Twitter, that Q&A, or was it like a dev diary type thing? I can just smush these in a little bit, might work, right? Might need, oh no, that's okay, I think. Just Twitter, yeah. I wonder, yeah, no, I think that's far enough back that that's alright. It's worried whether if the trains would like clip that or not. But I don't think they would. Alright, now this side. So this, it seems to be okay with this. So if I can replicate that, we should be okay. Which, I mean, I should pretty easily be able to do, right? And then that building, oh no. Okay, well, so this side is just gonna have to be a little bit more. Oh, was that the problem? That I wasn't quite squared up here? I hope so. Oh, it could be. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Okay, but yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Looks like New York right now on rail infrastructure. Nice. Yeah. I wouldn't say that this city is at all inspired by New York, but I have been to New York and I loved it there. It was a long time ago now. But I really wanted to, in this city, have this above road metro system. There's also one in Chicago. So I did look at a few screenshots and Google Earth images of both those cities in kind of preparation for figuring out what to do with, this metro. And yeah, especially in Chicago, like when you look at, I found this website actually that had a whole bunch of images of the Chicago above road network, and some of the interchanges were just nuts, amazing. So that was kind of what I was hoping to recreate. Yeah. So I'm glad you can see that. So we need to find a building for here. I wonder if like one of these little short ones might work. I mean, technically it's a corner. Am I super concerned about that? Probably not. Trees, I think I might put a tree here before I forget, because that doesn't look great, does it? No worries, DJ. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be going. It is, yeah, 20 past 11 here. But, yeah, hopefully you're back before I finish up. I think I go back to the Norfolk Island pine here, because they're quite tall and skinny. I do notice the population has been down a little bit. Have we got anything terrible going on here? No. This area has struggled with death care. I noticed this building earlier abandoned from death care. Is that... No, it's got reach. What are we looking at here? Oh, maybe it's just a bit of a death wave type situation. But yeah, I don't see why we should be losing too much population. It's probably just natural ebb and flow. This is when I was trying to figure out what was going on. Nice. Okay, I'm really happy with that intersection. It does look like some of the images that I was looking at, that I was talking about. The one in Chicago is like all wooden, which was fascinating. Like the top part of it was all wood. So yeah, really interesting. The other challenge here is with this type of setup is where you fit the stations in, because none of the stations are really designed to be over the top of a road. So yeah, they're all kind of designed to be off the road. And that's the challenge I had here, where you have to go off to the side, which doesn't look great, but this is going to curve around this way anyway, probably, so because you wouldn't want it to curve and go across the front of the views there. So yeah, there's no doubt some challenges in doing it this way. I think some of these, there's some in the, maybe it's the content creator pack, that are a bit better at kind of going across roads. So that's probably the ones that I'll be using for the most part, because they go over the top of roads quite well. So yeah, here the problem is I'm finding at the moment is it's always the wrong orientation. So really I kind of need it to be like, I mean, even that's off to the side, which is frustrating. And you can't, yeah, I suppose they don't do that good a job of it either, really, do they? So yeah, either way it's probably gonna have to be off to the side, so that's okay, we can make it work. But yeah, there's some cool assets in that pack as well. See, I think there should be a stop here for sure, which would, you know, there'd be a line going from here to here for sure. So maybe we figure out how we work that in as well. And yeah, for anyone who missed, we did lose a bit of progress, so I might redo that progress. I think I just had trees around this area, but yeah, I'll probably be going for another few minutes and then have to call it. About 10 apart. Thank goodness for autosave. That is an absolute lifesaver. If you play this game and don't have autosave enabled, you have to do yourself a favor. Cattle Kettle, you're from Japan. Your city is well detailed and beautiful. Thank you very much. And welcome in. Welcome from Japan. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't go real heavy into detail. I just do a few bits and pieces here and there. Make things kind of seem natural. I've realised I forgot to turn that off when we came back in. But how you going, Cattle Kettle? Having a good one? We go just along the paths. Is that going to be too much? I don't think I did that the first time. Alright, and then this side, I think I zoned in commercial last time. Because I had collision off. But yeah, thankfully it looks like we only lost about 5 minutes worth of stuff. Because I think that was as far as I got with the detailing. And then I got distracted by the train, the metro. I do get distracted very easily. I do worry about how this is going to perform ultimately in terms of trains getting stuck, because I have over here in my Circle City Cattle Kettle. Thank you very much for the follow. You're enjoying a sort of vacation season. That's really cool. How about me? Yeah, I'm going really well. I have tomorrow off, so I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow. Usually on my day off I do, or last day off I did a city stream along with a Minecraft stream. So I don't know if anyone else is interested in Minecraft as well, but yeah, I should be probably back on tomorrow slightly earlier. I don't yet have a full-on schedule because it sometimes depends on what work's like, but yeah, thanks for the follow. You'll be notified at least. But yeah, over here with the monorails get stuck really easily, and this really annoys me because, you know, I built this whole section, and you know, you can see that it's meant to be symmetrical, and it's, you know, it's meant to have a certain pattern to it. So this monorail station here used to be down on this street, but the monorails were just continually getting stuck going in and out of the stations, and it's really frustrating. So I had to move that one. This one, for whatever reason, that one's all right. So yeah, I don't know what the story is with that. I do notice when you look at the views, you can see it's hard to tell. Actually, this is a better one to see. See how that yellow line doesn't actually follow the track? It actually like cuts across the track, and I think the green one might be doing the same as well. I think that's what causes the problem, because even though the trains actually do stay on the track, the pathing kind of sees it doing that, and then it thinks it's going to collide with the other train. So it's a bit frustrating, but I had to move that station, which kind of ruins the whole aesthetic here. But you know, sometimes I suppose you have to, you know, to quote City Planner Plays, not let perfect be the enemy of good. So yeah, but yeah, I'm happy with the progress we've made tonight. We built this whole section. We added three new unique buildings, two of which we have recode, and yeah, pretty happy with the way it's shaping up. So yeah, and if you are joining for the first time, thanks for popping in. But yeah, we might call it. So give you a nice overview to leave with. And yeah, if you are around tomorrow, I know time zones are a thing, so might not necessarily work out, but yeah, stop on by. Once again, thanks for the follows. DJ Cool Master, I think he's they're still away, and Cattle Kettle, thanks for popping in. Anyone else out there, thanks for stopping by. And I think given there's a couple of people around, we might see if there's another Skylines player to go and raid. See who else is doing what. I'll just check what they're doing first. Looks like that guy's just started his city. It's like 5k population. Another one that's kind of just started. All right, we'll go with this guy. I don't know this guy, but so yeah, warning there. Could do or say anything, but yeah, we'll go and check out his city. So yeah, once again, thanks everyone for popping in. I hope to see you all again, and keep up on the progress of this city, Cooper County. Thanks again, guys. Have a great evening.